Hey guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and in this mini lesson, Matt's going to be teaching you a beautiful piece of music that I wrote, which I'm calling Aloha Dreaming. So as the name implies, this was a song that was inspired by paradise. Now I found myself in paradise for a week last year, and I have to say that it didn't feel like that long. It felt like it was over in a flash. So this little composition is kind of like my ode to a beautiful vacation. It always goes by so fast, but the memories are something that we can cherish. So let's take a step back and let's talk a little bit about this tune. Now I think it's going to be perfect for the intermediate player. And the reason why is the chord work. Now you're going to recognize a lot of the chords. They're going to be very familiar, but then there's going to be a few that are going to be some that we don't encounter that often, but these are the type of chords that add color and really make this music shine. Now, I want to take a second too to talk a little bit about the rhythm, because this song is in 6/8, and almost every measure in this song has you playing straight eighth notes. So that's 6/8 notes per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So rhythmically it stays pretty consistent and pretty simple. There's a couple bars where it changes, but it's an easy change. So at this point, let's take a step back and let's talk a little bit about this lesson. So in this video, Matt's going to teach you how to play the entire tune, but if you want to get the tabs to print off and follow along with, that's going to be available at this link right here, or you can go to the site rockclass101.com and do a search for ML27. That is the lesson number for this lesson. Now also on that page will be the interactive on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a great feature where you can hit play, you can watch the tab scroll across in real time, you can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish, just a great asset in learning this tune that much easier. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Matt to teach you how to play this. Don't forget to grab the high G ukulele and I'll catch you at the end of the video.
Hello! In this lesson, we're going to be learning Aloha Dreaming, mini lesson 27. This is a beautiful finger-picking piece. Let's go ahead and dive into melody A. I'm going to bring the camera down. So we're going to start here by playing a C major 7 chord, one of my favorites on a high G ukulele. Take the middle finger, place it here on the 2nd fret of the A string. And now we're going to be going between thumb strumming and finger picking as we go through this tune. So we're going to start here with taking our thumb and strumming it through all 4 strings. Then I like to use 3 finger picking. What that means is that my thumb is responsible for my G and my C strings, my index is responsible for my E string, and my middle finger is responsible here for my A string. So after I've done this strum through, I'm then going to play the E string, G string, and then I'm going to play the A string taking this finger off, open on the G, and open on the E. So that first measure in time should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we go on to the second measure here, we're going to be putting that finger back on to the 2 of the A. We're going to pluck that note. Then we're going to play open on the E, open on the G, open on the A, open on the G, and open on the E. So measure 2 in time sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that you can hear the pair of these together, it should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going into the next pair of measures, we're going to play this G7 sus2. Take your index finger, place it there on the 1st fret of the E string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C. And then we're going to strum through with our thumb. Now we're going to go to the finger picking. We'll play 2 on the C, 1 on the E. We're going to add the ring finger here to 2 on the A. And then we're going to play open on the G. Slide that ring finger up to 3 on the A. And that is measure 3. In time, it should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going into the fourth measure now, we're going to open the A string, play the C string on the second fret still, 1 on the E string, 2 on the A, adding the ring finger back on, open on the G, and then 1 on the E. So in time, measure 4 is something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so that you can hear the two measures together, here is measures 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From here we go on to measure 5, and here's what's cool. Measures 5 and 6 are exactly the same as measures 1 and 2. No difference whatsoever. So in time, 5 and 6, the same as 1 and 2, should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now as we go on to the 7th measure here, we're going to play a G minor chord up the neck. Ring finger goes to the 7th fret of the C string. Middle finger here to the 6th fret of the E string. And index finger here to the 5th fret of the A string. I'm going to strum through all 4 with my thumb. And then I'm going to pluck the C string. And then the E string. And then the A string, but with 7 added on the A. So my pinky finger is going to squeeze in here and hit that 7th fret. And then play open on the G. Then I'm going to slide the pinky up to 8 on the A. So that measure is something like this in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going into the 8th measure now, we take that pinky off, holding the other 3 where they are. Play the 5 on the A. Then the 7 on the C, 6 on the E. We add that pinky finger back on 7 of the A, open on the G, and then this is quite tricky. It's an 8 on the E string. Doesn't seem like it should be tricky, right? But we have to set up the next chord. And so to do this, we're going to just take our middle finger here, and we're going to bar it across the E and the A strings on the 8th fret. I know it seems confusing, but I promise that it makes sense as we go on the next section. We're going to play just the 8 on the E with that. So that's a tricky transition. Going from this, you slide that finger up and make that little partial bar. In time, that's going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason we do this is now when we go on to measure 9, we're going to add the ring finger to be on the 9th fret of the C string. This is tricky. If you've never done something like this, you're working on the flexibility of the middle finger being recessed here, while the ring finger is kind of arching up and over. This takes some practice. It's like some yoga for your fingers. But the reason we're doing this is because we're also going to add the 10 on the A string with the pinky. And I know this seems really contorted. Why are we doing it like this? Well, the reason is because we're going to strum through all 4 strings. Then we'll play the C string, E string, and then the A string on 8. And this is why we do all this work, is because the pinky comes off and the 8 is already there with the middle finger. Then we'll play the C string, and then we take the index and we place it here on 7. And when we do this on 7, we've got a couple different options. What I actually like to do is I like to take the index and bar it across 7. I know it seems unnecessary, right? But it'll make sense in a moment. I'm going to play that 7 just as it is. So that measure, I think, is the hardest one in the song. Measure 9 looks something like this in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, why did I bar here on 7? Well, the next chord here, this beautiful D minor flat 11. Oh my word, what are we doing? Well, this index finger needs to play the 7 on the G. So by barring for that 7 on the A, we're set. We're ready to go there. We're going to take the middle finger and we're going to collapse it on the 8th fret of the C, E, and A strings, just like this. This is a little bit of a double bar. It's pretty tricky. Just keep in mind that the index only really needs to play the 7th fret on the G string. So it's okay if it's not a perfect bar to start here. Then we're going to take the pinky, add it on 10 of the A for this incredible chord, and strum all the way through. After we've strummed through that, we're going to pluck the C, E, and then the A without the pinky, so it's 8 on the A string. And then we're going to play 8 on the C, which is already there. Then we're going to play 7 on the A. We do this by taking the middle finger off the A string and reinforcing the bar here with the index to play that. These two measures, 9 and 10, are the hardest of the song, bar none, not even close. But if you can get them, they really sound beautiful. So 10 in time, nice and slow, just like we did 9, should be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's the pair. Again, 9 and 10 may take more work than all the other measures of the tune, but that's okay because they're worth it. Should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo. From here, it's mostly smooth sailing. Gets a lot easier. We're going to just play 5 on the A string to start measure 11. I just use my index and jump down there to the 5th fret. That's all there is to it. We're going to play that. Open on the G. Then I like to use my ring finger here on 7 of the A. And then I'm going to go down to 3 on the A. You can just use your index finger here. Then play open on the G. And then we're going to play 5 on the A. I like to use the ring finger here. So in time, that measure, much easier than 9 and 10. Should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going into the 12th measure here, really like this part. We can do a little bit of a slowdown, a little bit of a retard as we go. And then we play the 5 with the middle finger on the E string. And we immediately slide it into 7 on the E for this nice little embellishment. Play the open on the G. And then we can slide that finger down to 5 on the E, and then down to 3 on the E, then open on the G, and finally 7 on the A. Just use your pinky out here, play that, and let it ring for a moment with this sort of fermata, which means we just let it ring. So 12 sounds something like this in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the two measures together, 11 and 12, should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now as we go on to measure 13, it's going to start off much the same as measure 1 did. In fact, it's the exact same measure to start. We're going to start with that C major 7, strum through it, play the same open sequence that we did on measure 1, and we actually played on measure 5 as well. So in time, measure 13 should be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As we go on to measure 14, you're going to notice that the melody changes just a little bit. We're going to play that same 2 on the A, open on the G, then we're going to go up to 3 on the A, and then open on the A, and let that ring for some space. I love this little melodic movement. 14 in time should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 13 and 14 should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going on to measure 15, we're going to be playing that G7 sus chord again, right? We're going to strum through just like we did on measure 3. In fact, it's very close to the same, but a little bit different. We're going to strum through. We're going to play the 2 on the C, and open on the A, add the 2 on the A, open on the G, and then slide up to the 3 on the A. So measure 15 sounds like this in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going on to the 16th measure, really cool chord, G7 flat 9. To play this, we're going to take these 3 fingers, we're going to slide them all up. 5 with the C string with the middle finger, 4 on the E string with the index, and 5 on the A string with the ring finger. Strum through all 4 strings with the thumb, play the C string, and then we're going to play the A string on 7. So take your pinky, stretch it out here, and then come up to 8 with the pinky, open on the G, slide the whole thing up to get 10 with the pinky on the A string. And that's the end of that measure 16, which should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 2 measures together, 15 and 16, should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we go on to measure 17. Pretty straightforward, nice little E minor. Open on the G, bar across the 7th fret of the C, E, and A. Strum through all 4 strings. Pluck the C, E, A, E, C. Really straightforward measure. Nothing extra for movement. In time, 17 should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then going in the 18th measure, this is also difficult if you haven't played it before. It's going to be artificial harmonics on this fret 7. So we've got a video down below on artificial harmonics. Be sure to check that out, but we're going to do that artificial harmonic just like so. So I'm going to be doing the A string, E string, C string, and then A string again. The gist of the harmonic here is that I'm going to be hovering right above the 17th fret of my ukulele with my index finger, and then I'm going to be striking the thumb with striking the string with my thumb on my playing hand. I'm going to super zoom in here. And so what this ends up looking like is something like this. You see how the index isn't compressing? It's just touching over the fret wire, and my thumb is going to strike the string. And so that's how we get that effect with the harmonics. And that's how we end this beautiful tune. So 18 in time is something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 2 measures together, 17 and 18, holding that same chord, should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is the end to the Aloha Dreaming Mini Lesson 27. Bring the camera back up. This is a really fun tune. It's deceptively difficult. There's some of these fingerings that just require extra practice, and it's a really fantastic exercise for players because sometimes we expect things to be intuitive the whole time we play it through, right? This song starts with like the 2 on the A and just kind of comes off and open. Nice and simple, right? But then later in the song, we've got some pretty intricate fingerings that we got to use, and that's what makes it such a great exercise on your ukulele journey. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'll see you next time on the next lesson here on Rock Class 101. Thanks so much.
Alright guys, so this mini lesson was a lot of fun. It's a very beautiful tune in 6/8, and hopefully it gives you a little bit of the feeling of Hawaii or the beach or a summer vacation. That was kind of my goal, and again, the inspiration was an amazing vacation that it ends before you want it to. That's kind of the feeling I was trying to capture here. So I do want to give you a friendly reminder before we wrap up that if you did want to get the tabs to print off and keep for your records, that was available at this link right here. Or you can go to the site rockclass101.com, do a search for ML27, that's the lesson number for this lesson. Don't forget to, on that page was the interactive on-screen tab viewer, so that really cool feature where you can hit play, watch that tab scroll across in real time, highlight bars, loop sections, slow it down, all that fun jazz. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care.